We talked about fantasy-wise hiring Scorsese to play the Dan Hedaya role, but we were nervous that whenever we would decide to put the camera somewhere, we'd look over and Scorsese would be like shaking his head no. Scorsese was another big influence in terms of, you look at Mean Streets and what the camera does in that movie that has nothing to do with what the characters are doing. You know, American Friend had just come out, and Joel and I were at the same party, and somehow we found out we were both film students. We were just blown away by the look of that movie.
He also there are some very beautiful and evocative but unmotivated camera moves in An American Friend, which I think also kind of, I remember, there's like boom ups, the sequence that he did in Orly Airport, where you were sort of, and you go, where is that from? But they're beautiful, and they always felt sort of appropriate to what was going on in the scene, even if you didn't quite know why.
All right, gentlemen, let's show our appreciation for the rain up there. Registered nurse from Bolton, Texas.
This was the first day of shooting, and dailies were 10 points, which was the equivalent of 2 f-stops, brighter than this, and it looks so much like a bad porn that it depressed the hell out of all of us. And I had them printed down to where I thought it should have been, and suddenly it looked better than this, like this. As we talked about before the first day of shooting, I had never been on a feature film set. I had shot some movies at NYU, student films, and then I shot industrials for Reeve Teletape and some documentaries, but I had never shot a narrative movie where you had to have anything go consistent from shot to shot. I think this is the most colorful film we ever did.
Yes, it certainly
either
is.
Together or separately.
What was done here on the in the bar was designed by Jane Muskie.
Well, a lot of neon.
Most of the production design budget went to neon.
It's true. I wouldn't say the palette was consciously chosen in advance. Did we consciously choose?
That's interesting. Every movie that we've done subsequently, I think there has been sort of a general palette that's sort of been gone over with the production designer in terms of, literally getting the palette in front of you.
Hello? Marty?
Now this is interesting, Barry.
Yeah?
Fran's side.
Yeah?
The lamp is over on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You always want to motivate. I'll explain that to you.
Yes.
The short side of a face is always the side you want to light on.
Regardless of where you put the lamp.
Yes. Have you seen the opening shot of Miller's Crossing, by the way, where Gabe Byrne is sitting next to a lamp and the other side of his face is... See, I wanted to make her beautiful, and the way you do that is you always light the short side. So you always want to light for beauty and not for accuracy. Look, her main light just switched.
Wait, did it?
Yeah. Oh, God, yes. Yeah, you'll see now she's mainly lit from this side, you see?
right.
Because it's a prettier way to go. Then who would notice that except unappreciative directors and producers, really?
Yeah, there we go.
I accidentally got her lighting on the correct side with the lamp.
But not him. Dr. Strangelove is something that appealed to all of us.
It's all our
Yes.
choking low
Yes,
close-ups.
the very low, the sort of Baroque angles on the close stuff of the characters in that movie.
He had no rules about lenses, about lighting.
No, that's true.
The scene where the Army is attacking the base,
Right.
Burpleson Air Force Base, he shot
It's a
during the day.
And handheld.
And even though it's a night
Yes.
scene,
Yeah.
just because he knew no one cared and it was easier, there were no rules in that movie.
Oh, this shot, weren't we talking about the conformist restaurant?
Oh, yeah. You'll see the Venetian blinds move.
The shadow, the light
the
source is
shadow
moving.
moves during the shot, which was something we got from the conformist.
This big wide shot that's coming up here was the camera on a 2x4, in the middle of a 2x4 with two people on each end, just running with the 2x4, and it was at a
9.8 millimeter.
9.8 lens.
You got to be kind of wide, or it's unbearably bouncy.
But the wide angle, the extreme wide angle nature of the lens takes out most of the bump in the camera, and it was something that we'd learned from Sam Raimi, who used it to great effect and quite a lot on The Evil Dead.
He called it the shaky cam. But now that would have been a shot you would now use a techno crane for, instead of two guys running with a board. And then here's the
So you
famous
wanna stop
unmotivated lighting.
Yes, okay, let the second bullet hole come through and then freeze it. Boom, okay, so now there's an inky behind each one of these bullet holes.
Actually, that looks like it might be one.
No, it's
No, it
it's
can't
two.
be.
It's,
Is it?
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, you wouldn't have it going in
Can't have
two
it go
directions.
Yeah,
that way
right.
and that way. So this is the thing that Nestor Almendros was talking
I
about.
think
that
he
makes
was
no
a
sense.
judge at the Miami Film Festival.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's where I met him. Yep, absolutely. And that's what he was saying is just completely ridiculous in terms of how light works. But that he liked it. Now keep going, and it just.
And he was also the Mr. Motivated Light DP guy. So again, now you got all these different angles going up, going this way, going that way, from theoretically an overhead 25
One overhead
watt
light
bulb.
inside this dimly lit bathroom on the other side.
You know, Catherine Bigelow's first movie, which was a vampire movie, she called me up and asked me if I would shoot it specifically because of that scene.
The fact is, nothing comes with a guarantee. Now, I don't care if you're the Pope of Rome, President of the United States, or Man of the Year. Something can all go wrong. But what I know about is Texas. And down here, you're on your own.